A bombshell report reveals that James Comey's daughter Maurene is working on the Southern District of New York team that is trying to take down President Trump. Rush Limbaugh pointed out that former U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York Preet Bharara advised opponents of President Donald Trump Tuesday not to put their hope into being delivered from him by the SDNY. Bharara appeared on Deadline, White House and cautioned the resistance to focus on defeating Trump in the 2020 election. Many progressives were already disappointed last month that the Mueller report was a bomb. Then they turned their attention to the SDNY, and now the guy that ran the joint is telling them to stop looking there, that we're not going to be able to get rid of Trump from the SDNY. He said, "I also want to caution people. Maybe not everyone will love hearing this. Lots of people don't like the president, think he should not be president, and they want to be delivered from him, and I get that, and I may be one of those people also. It doesn't mean that you're going to be delivered from that in some place other than the ballot box. It doesn't mean you're going to be delivered from that by Bob Mueller, as good as he is, because his job was not to get the president." Really? The hell it wasn't. And it still is. He went on and said, "The Southern District's job, the place I used to lead, is not to get the president. Maybe they'll find evidence of a crime, maybe they'll think they have something to say in a courtroom, whether it's about the hush money payments or something else or the Trump Organization, but if people don't like the direction of the country and they think we're moving away from the ideals of the country should be about, whether it's on immigration or decency or rule of law, then they should set their sights on the ballot box and not the SDNY." Meanwhile, Maurene's father, James Comey, is appearing on CNN, where he's pushing debunked Russia conspiracy theories. Watch the video, from Canada Free Press. The Southern District of New York, SDNY, which in effect, is replacing the failed Robert Mueller's special counsel Russia probe, will have much more leeway in the die-hard agenda to bring down President Donald Trump. Prosecutors in Manhattan's Southern District aren't saddled with a limited mandate like special counsel Robert Mueller in his Russia probe. They can follow the trail wherever it leads. NBCNews.com, March 25, 2019, Harvard Law School professor emeritus Alan Dershowitz, whose legal analysis defending Trump has been praised by the president, said the office's independence is one of the reasons the Manhattan investigations provide Trump with much more to worry about than the Mueller probe. "New York has always had a degree of independence, and that's a reality," Dershowitz said. "And I think the U.S. attorneys can take advantage of that. They still have to run their indictments up through the hierarchy and get approval," he added. "No member of the Trump family is going to be prosecuted without it going through the Justice Department. With a staff of about 220 assistant U.S. attorneys, SDNY is one of the largest in the country." The United States Attorney for the Southern District of New York is the chief federal law enforcement officer in 8 New York counties: New York, Manhattan, Bronx, Westchester, Putnam, Rockland, Orange, Dutchess, and Sullivan. Wikipedia. Jeffrey Berman currently serves as United States Attorney, since replacing Acting Attorney June Kim on January 5, 2018 and being indefinitely appointed on April 25, 2018. Preet Bharara was the district's previous U.S. Attorney, having been appointed under President Barack Obama in 2009. Bharara served until March 11, 2017, when he was fired by President Donald Trump, shortly after refusing to resign upon request. The U.S. District Court for the Southern District of New York has jurisdiction over all cases prosecuted by the U.S. Attorney. The United States District Court for the Southern District of New York, in case citations, SDNY, known informally as the Mother Court, is a federal district court. The Southern District is one of the most influential and active federal district courts in the United States, largely because of its jurisdiction over New York's major financial centers. From the True Life is Stranger Than Fiction department, James Comey's 30-year-old daughter Maurene Comey is on the SDNY posse that will carry on investigating the Trump-Russia conspiracy. Like her father, who served as a U.S. attorney for SDNY from January 7, 2002 to December 15, 2003, Maurene Comey has been an assistant U.S. attorney in the SDNY office since 2015. Maurene Comey went to William and Mary School, where she earned a bachelor's degree in history and music and attended Harvard Law School. Her position at the SDNY office may have gone ignored had not the Daily Mail raked over the coals of the ex-FBI director's career as a hedge fund high roller living high off the hog. In an April 1 story, James Comey was a hedge fund high roller when he lived with his family in the Tony enclave of Westport, Connecticut until he was tapped to run the FBI in 2013, the Daily Mail reported. Daily Mail, April 1, 2019. Comey bought the estate on more than 3 acres not far from where Martha Stewart used to live for $3,050,000 in August 2010. But now he's had to reduce the price 4 times, down to $2.5 million, and he still doesn't have a buyer for the palatial estate. It's a 7-bedroom, 9-bath, 7,157 square foot gated home in one of Connecticut's ritziest Gold Coast towns. Residents of the neighborhood over the years included such powerful, moneyed Democrat neighbors as Stewart and Harvey Weinstein. Comey, who has a net worth of $11 million, lived like a king during the 6 years he spent at the Connecticut home. When he bought the home, he had been hired as general counsel by the Westport-headquartered $150 billion hedge fund Bridgewater Associates. Stewart's former Turkey Hill estate, which she sold in 2007, is just a hop, skip and a jump from Comey's sprawling 3.17 acres. The Daily Mail reminds us that it was Comey who prosecuted and sent Stewart to prison in 2004 for insider stock trading. Was it seeing the street creds of Stewart's home when he was prosecuting her that made him want to live in the same Tony neighborhood? Another more recent neighbor of Comey was the businessman and philanthropist Rajat Gupta, who was convicted in 2012 on insider trading. Daily Mail, James Comey, who led off failed presidential candidate Hillary Clinton on the infamous email server scandal, played a major role in Robert Mueller's special counsel, which failed to table any evidence that President Trump colluded with Russia to keep Clinton from winning the 2016 presidency. Comey was hot on the trail to destroy Trump's presidency long before Trump fired him as FBI director. Now it's Comey daughter Maurene's turn over at the all-powerful SDNY. For the Comey family, bringing down President Trump seems to be generational.